This Supreme Court did not do this on its own. No judges would expose themselves to such ridicule unless there was some other force that was compromising their independence. And that means a hard look needs to be taken at the APC leadership as well. I don't know if you would like to also expand on what you think other possible remedies could be, and then we can entertain questions from the audience.
I just want to amplify that we believe that there's a possibility that the international community can be brought to bear, the UN, from the Declaration of Human Rights all the way through. This is a very, very serious matter. There's something that I didn't mention, and I hesitate to mention because I am not Nigerian, although I think Dr. Lloyd has bestowed upon me the honorary title of Nigeria man. And we had a conversation. It wasn't heated, but he acted like he was going to revoke my Nigeria man credentials, causing my 13-year-old son, who was in the car with me, to be very distraught. He said, "Dad, you have to stay a Nigeria man." But talking about children, when I was a little boy, when I was 7 years old, growing up in the middle of nowhere, Florida, in a swamp, closest town was 30 miles away. The first thing that happened in the world that brought to bear to me that maybe things weren't always right, maybe things weren't always good, wasn't the Vietnam War. Because I was in the South. It was correct and just, and we were the warriors. It was the Biafra War. And I remember very distinctly thinking, this just isn't right. This isn't right. This is a great people. It is a great nation. There was a country. And then later when I learned, something most people don't know, that there is a plausible argument that democracy began in Igbo land. The very first written constitution on this planet was written by the Igbo people. The very first democracy that involved self-governance, that worked for everybody, not just the Greek wealthy, but everybody, was in Igbo land. And the very first democracy that permitted women leaders was in Igbo land. The West, Europe, we were still in the Dark Ages. And yet the Igbo had figured out a way to have a just and meaningful government and a just and meaningful society and due process and fairness. And to this day, you see a great many Igbo leaders that are women. So it is my honor to have been able to work with the Igbo community. We are contemplating preparing an appeal to the